Photo credit Bloomberg. The newest addition to the Genesis lineup has arrived in the form of the G70. The compact luxury sedan goes on sale in the US next spring and will immediately join a competitive segment headlined by the BMW 3 Series, Audi A4 and Mercedes-Benz C-Class. The G70 will be available in rear or all-wheel drive and will come with a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine or a 3.3-liter turbo V6 in the US. Here's some initial reaction from the automotive press on the G70. Right off the bat you'll say this: it looks sharp. More so than I expected. Granted, it's a bit indistinctive. The total package reminds me of the Infiniti Q50 and the Alfa Romeo Giulia, two cars it'll no doubt compete against, but you can't deny it's a handsome, aggressive, elegant design. They did good here. On the inside, it's definitely aimed at BMW. Check that control knob and screen combo. I'll wait to judge it in person, but it looks elegant and at least something of a step up from nicer Hyundais I've driven. Patrick George, Jalopnik, Genesis did well adapting the G80 style to a smaller form. The grille should be familiar to anyone who has seen the G80, although the rest of the bumper is more chiseled and angry looking than other Genesis models. Out back, I get a bit of last generation class in the taillights, but it's a good look with plenty of flashy LED elements to capture buyers' attentions. Inside, things are pretty traditional Genesis. There's a variety of materials in each dashboard layer, although the G70 bucks tradition by using one of those floating screen designs that's very much a l'autorité thing. There are plenty of physical buttons for manipulating the climate control and infotainment, and the seats, at least in their diamond-stitched jet-up, look properly fancy. Andrew Kroc, roadshow bike net. Its angular front fascia, swept hood and sidelines, and tallish rear end aren't quite German, nor are they Japanese. They're a blend of both, and maybe that's Korea's best plan of attack. Regardless of influence, it looks better and more cohesive than the G80 and G90, both of which are no Quasimodo. Connor Golden, Automobile. Will let you come to your own conclusions about the G70's appearance, but from these initial images, we're happy with what we see. The fascia is certainly reminiscent of the larger G90, though with far more angles and creases, and we like the short rear deck, even if the tail lamps are a little too accent sedan for our tastes. Overall, we like the simple, handsome design. Clean lines abound. This car isn't trying too hard to stand out. Stephen Ewing, motor1.com. The G70 looks cleanly designed with few fussy details. I'd hardly call the car audacious, apart from that whole rear at naming top and Sherman mouth thing. But this is merely the first vehicle in a line that increasingly will push the stylistic envelope. The relative lack of overt boldness in the G70 in no way makes it unattractive. It's a flowing, athletic-looking thing, more in the mold of Alfa Romeo's Giulia or Infinitis Q50 than the restrained BMW 3 Series or Audi A4. Its three-quarter V is defined by complex contours. Eric Johnson, car and driver. In the front fascia, there are lots of busy angles that form triangles and trapezoids. The G70's headlamps use four thin-line lamps as a design signature. The inward rake of the pillars toward the roofline up to the tumbleham is rather severe, which impinges on headroom in exchange for more muscular body side sheet metal. The trunk lip shape hints at BMW and Audi design cues, and it flows from voluptuous rear haunches tapering rearward. And, yes, the archer's bow vent behind the front wheel is functional. Inside, Genesis is making a design statement with its console and dash detail materials or lack thereof. Like it or not, wood trim will not appear anywhere on any G70. Instead, brushed metal or liquid metal will be the details. Mark Rechtin, Motor Trend. G70 bears some basic similarities up front to the New York concept that previewed it, but the rear keeps nothing of the concept's hyper-stretched elements. Still, it's tasteful and fresh in the latter case, in contrast to the nose, which looks like an Infiniti Q50 with busier bumpers. Kelsey Mays, Cars.com. Without careening off into an opinion editorial about the perils of Hyundai's rushed launch of its luxury brand, consider the new Genesis G70 to be the Giulia to the eventual Genesis GV70 SUV Stelvio. If you are unfamiliar with Alfa Romeo models, let me put it this way: the G70 is the appetizer served in advance of the meal you really want to eat. Christian Wardlaw, New York Daily News.